and welcome to episode 8 of our Pathfinder stream, Shadows of Bellephonex. I'm joined here today by Jodesius, Moogle, and Cookie, playing as our lovely Gertrude, the spider shifter, who sneaks through the night. Moogle playing Makoto, the witch of the forest, who is more than their peer, and Rubus, the living tree, who strives to enforce the will of gods of goodness upon the land. We pick up from where we left off, which is after finishing some light hired criminal activities, not performing adequately to the employer's requests, but still getting a reasonable payout of 500 gold. Our heroes, so to say, make their way back to their tavern dorm where they were sleeping for the night to resume and finish their night's sleep and wake up rested the next day. One of our heroes, Makoto, can you roll me a will save, please?
Yar.
Hey, Scary.
Oh,
Hey.
it's scary.
Oh, scary.
Let's go.
Where is my will on this stupid screen? Free time.
Will is ways away.
We're not wizards yet. We can have bacon. Right, yeah, the message went out. It worked, finally.
Where is it? No, that's
We
not
do
it.
Anyway.
So, will is stored in the ball.
It's stored in the what?
Your saving throws are on the first page of your character sheet underneath armor class, in between ability scores and hit points, in the top middle.
Oh, there you are.
Ah.
19.
Alrighty. Excellent. You sleep soundly, or reasonably soundly, in this sailor's bunk room from these little kind of cot beds.
Made of wood and bristle.
Waking up the next morning, refreshed and ready to spend a new day existing and living and seeing what the city of Bellephonex had in store for you. You recall you took down a few notes from a quest board, ripping down the notices so that no one else had a chance to help these people before you could.
We have a shit ton of jobs to do.
Well, there were a few you saw that you were interested in.
We've got through a few of them already, though, haven't we?
You've got
Done, I think, 3. Done at least.
2 of the things.
Oh, okay, 2 of them.
You have saved a lost child, and you...
That counts as 2.
Alright. And have done crime. Done night crime. However, also on the list was various boats who were offering for payment for guards, which you did not take on currently. A blockage in the sewers. A horse stable whose horses were taking ill, a horse trader, and an alchemist looking for some rare plants in the nearby wilderness, and a temple that has been vandalized repeatedly at night.
Oh yeah, we were gonna go check out the
What
tunnel.
is the name of this city again?
Wasn't there a crocodile thing as well? Bellephonex
You
was the
did
name.
hear, well, you yourself have heard in this town that the shadows possibly feed their victims to a giant crocodile in the sewers. You have also heard from the children that one of the lieutenants who have extorted them for money was a crocodile man or lizard man.
Yeah, that was it. I knew there was a crocodile something. I want to go meet him.
Mhm. So, you guys wake up refreshed, ready to hit the day, you know, preparing and praying or otherwise conjuring your spells to memory so that you can commit them at a moment's notice. Stretching your legs, all 8 of them.
So is it morning time or night time right now? Morning time, right?
Morning time.
So we've got a whole day ahead of us before we meet the shadows tonight, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think? I don't know how you. I mean, do you just need to fill your bellies up again? We ate last night.
I
Do you want to
mean,
grab some breakfast, or do you want
the
to?
fact that I only really eat sunlight, but you know.
I know yeah. Exactly.
He's already
It's nighttime. It's nighttime, isn't it? So done a bit of a moonlight photosynthesis, I guess. So I mean, yeah.
Rubus isn't
Or-
a big eater.
Which one do you want to go and investigate first? Cookie's really quiet.
Cookie, speak up.
That's scary. I like eat the microphone.
It's fair enough. Cookie should eat a microphone.
Make it a bit louder.
Yeah, no, sorry, I do apologise. Yeah.
It's quite alright, dear fellow.
He might have turned me down last time. I was a bit drunk.
Well, from being
I've been
drunk,
like, shut
yeah.
the fuck up. Why are you arguing with me right now?
Stop calling me out.
It's okay.
Well, I would presume that the sewers are going to take us too long to actually go through. And we have to meet those people on time, don't we? No later, no sooner.
Yeah, we have to be there at that specific time. So what was the other one? We could, what was it? Guards on a boat? But
And if we guard the boats, though, we never know how long they're going to want us for. That's going to be a bit.
Yeah, that's going to be
true,
like
yeah.
a long job. Like, that's weeks of sailing.
Oh, okay,
We
yeah,
go
that's what I
visit the
thought.
temple.
Let's go.
You want to go to the temple?
Yeah, why not? Have a little look.
Okey-dokey.
See, you know.
Stroll about and have a look up there, right?
So,
Nope, we're in the town center.
you head
Oh, we are
through
indeed.
the cities, making your way through the walls as the city kind of wakes up. Various dock hands and other workers from your resting stop at the dock head off to their ships, or various ships coming in to port early in the morning manage to make their way into the docks that they didn't approach at night. You slowly wander through like the cobbled streets of the city.
What could we see?
Perception check.
Yeah, throw me a perception check, see if there's anything. Oh, pretty good, Makoto. Pretty good.
You want one from me as well?
Do you want to perceive things?
Nah, hold off until we get towards the temple.
Alright.
What's my code?
Real quick to everybody. Look at this beautiful chicken. Look at him. Look at his amazingness, blurriness, and all that. Oh, where's he gone?
It's a very blurry chicken. That's the blurriest chicken I've ever done seen.
What does it taste like? That's the question.
hot chicken.
One used to say, yeah.
He smells like Cheetos, but he tastes like chicken. I smell like Cheetos.
Interesting. Interesting.
Right, so what did I perceive since I got my beautiful 24 hanging around there?
So mostly you see people setting up market stalls at the start of the set day, like selling wares and things. A couple of small urchin children darting amongst the burgeoning crowds. And you see a dragonborn kind of in armor striding down the street.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that not normal around here?
It's the first.
It's
It's not the first non-human you've seen. It's the first dragonborn.
And I just stare at them awkwardly.
This is like a trading port town, isn't it? So all folk come and go.
Going to ignore them completely.
Alrighty. You continue making your way through to the temple district, where you see several kind of temples to the various gods of this realm. And in particular, you see one as this large temple with a kind of big circular stained glass window at the front depicting 3 daggers pointed outwards. And that window has been smashed in a couple of places by rocks or bricks or stones or something.
Well, who would be doing that? Vandalism. Just vandalism. Would you move?
Them naughty goblins again, I tell ya. Or the kids.
What kind of vandalism are we talking here? Like,
I mean, smashed up windows is pretty vandalistic, don't you think?
really?
Is that even a word, vandalistic?
There could be like a drunken punter just walking down a street and throws
They're
a rock.
not British, are they?
Just threw a bottle over his shoulder and sprang. Took that dagger out.
Could be British, you never know.
Can I-
Accent?
Can I do a perceive now and see what else we see around this entrance to this? Why is this running slow today? You bastard, speed
You
up.
can indeed. You slow boy. Good.
Just gonna leave the character sheet up. Oh no, they.
You can see, as well as the smashed window, there seem to be, down the side of the building, burn marks on the wall, kind of on the stone, as if someone's like laid burning material up against the wall of the temple. There's also like shattered glass around, and you see kind of in a little patch of mud between cobbles a quite large footprint.
Cool. Can I investigate closer? Like maybe on the footprint and scorched walls.
Sure thing.
What do I do? Click another perception?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's... You don't really notice anything.
Could I do a
particularly
perceive
jumping
on the
out at you.
footprint? I'm a
The
fox.
footprint is like quite large. Like it's definitely larger than your feet. It's probably like size 16 or so.
So it's like a giant's foot or something.
No, not quite.
Or is it more like
definitely very
more like
large.
Rubus's feet? Oh, okay. So it could be human.
Yeah.
What do you make of this, guys? Rubus?
May I do a
And my
perception
footprint.
on it? Like, see if there's anything odd about the footprint?
Maybe do a magic thing. Maybe detect magic. 'Cause he said scorching.
It seems to be like a boot print specifically.
Hmm.
Like
How
not
big of a
ju- not
boot
just
print
a
are we
naked-
talking?
very large. Size,
Size 14 or
16 or
16,
so.
he said, yeah.
Okay, so bigger than Shaq's. It's alright then.
Bigger than Shaq's. Is that how we're gonna measure things now?
Bigger
Yeah.
than Shaq's.
Who's Shaq?
He's a famous wizard known for his enormous feet.
And gigantic beard. Hmm.
I mean, I'm happy to try and do detect magic if you'd like.
No, just a suggestion. Because he said there's, scorch marks as if something was laid up on the wall. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Maybe there was a spell cast or something.
Okay.
And the guy in the footprint got evaporated. Turned to mud.
I mean, I don't see
That's a
what.
fair possibility there, Gertrude.
Oh, wrong button. So sorry. Apologies.
How
That's
dare
detect
you.
magic for you people.
Nice. You detected some magic, did you?
I'm trying to. It's being obnoxious.
Right, so you cast the spell and try to search out for sensations of magic within the remnants of the damage and around the footprint. And no, other than your friends and allies, you don't seem to detect much around. There seems to be some basic magic in the walls of the temple, in the walls and doors, but that's about all you detect here.
Okay, I'll relay that back to my teammates. Should we go inside and discuss things with them?
I think we should send a tree in with his head and scare everything away inside again.
Look, that was one time, Gertrude.
One time, every interaction you've met, the head has been pulled out.
I mean, and we need to find out who it belongs to.
We do. Nah, we should all go in there, eh? What do you reckon? I'm down. Into the spooky, unforeseen, magical, broken temple.
Definitely just look over there and,
Have a little look.
Scary. He likes giving head. Leave the guy alone.
We don't know that. We could find that information out about that.
Look at my head.
Who knows?
Look at it shine at you in all of its deadly awesomeness.
Been pulled out of tree bark.
So, are we all going in and
Yeah.
having a nice discussion?
You make your way into the temple. As you enter, you see the various sconces on the walls that you detect as magical, that are giving off this kind of bright orange flame. And the temple is a rather ordinary main room with seating facing a frontal altar and two kind of stairways that head off up to presumably where the priests or priestesses stay. Behind the altar is standing a woman with long blonde hair, wearing kind of this white embroidered robe with symbols of kind of this three daggers kind of circled, pointing outwards on her breast, and it's kind of loosely tied at the waist. And she kind of smiles and looks up when she sees you. She says, "Ah, welcome to the Temple of Callistra. May I assist you, travellers?"
What is this place?
Mm.
Well,
This
she
is
just told us.
Yeah, but
This
what do
is
they
the,
do
is
here?
the
Like,
temple of my goddess.
and what does your
Is this
goddess
what this
believe in?
is?
What does she do?
you are a fellow cleric of Calistria.
I am, yes.
Surely then she has led you here in our time of travail.
I must say she has not given me any indication to come here for any reason.
Oh, Cookie.
She she is a subtle one, after all.
I mean, we just took the job off the board.
Our goddess
There is no.
works in mysterious ways.
Well, she certainly does work in mysterious ways, yes.
Uh,
Ow.
so you are here about the Vandals then?
Yeah, we've seen some of the evidence outside, the broken windows. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's been going on?
Yes, they've been coming most nights for the past few weeks and stepping up their kind of aggression, I suppose. They started about 2 weeks ago harassing members of the congregation when they would leave the evening sermons. After that, it quickly
Why were they
escalated. They
harassing you?
uh,
What are they saying when they're harassing you? Like, what are they
they
doing?
were mostly like shaking them down, robbing them for money and valuables, and sometimes just attacking and harming them. We had the guard in a few times, but on those nights they just didn't show up. They
Do you
can't.
recognize any of them from around the town, or are they usually typically wearing face coverings, masks, things like that?
They kept their hoods up, but one was a large, orcish-looking man, uh, large tusks and easily 8.5 feet tall.
Ah, the big shack shoe.
Mm.
Mm.
He was the one who threw the fire bombs, some kind of explosive potion or something, at the walls.
Now, I don't know much about this belief system that Rubis has, but is it typical that your
I mean, most people
religious
don't.
sect gets attacked or
It,
bullied in any way,
why?
shape, or form? Like, what don't we know?
Ah, Calistria, she's a fickle goddess. She, um, the goddess of freedom, lust, and revenge. Often, some people don't see her as one of the lighter gods, and she is mostly neutral. But I,
She's very neutral, other than when she makes it very apparent otherwise.
She
exactly
does
so.
believe in revenge.
Is there anything that the church, this temple, has done against anyone locally or potentially any visitors that have come that maybe they think they're doing the will of the goddess? Have you ever seen them within your fold before?
There
Their
is.
builds, at least. I mean, an orc. Have you seen an orc? And I mean, he's pretty noticeable, right?
I've not seen any of them attending any services. Um, I strange. They seem well funded for their lack of extreme aggression so far. Only injuries and scared followers and empty seats. Uh, there is one thing. If you'd mind, I can show my fellow cleric something that the church keeps hidden here. Perhaps it's somehow related?
We'll wait
Take
for
a
you,
look at it.
Rubus.
Just gonna whisper to them, don't worry, I'll tell you what it is in a minute.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm
you follow the priestess?
Mm-hmm.
The priestess kind of slowly walks to one of the staircases and heads down to the crypt beneath the temple. Heading through the crypt to the end of it, she reaches one of the tombs, which she grunts for a moment and slides it open, revealing more stairs going down to a sub-basement.
Not more stairs.
More stairs.
I'll act like I know nothing about this.
just sitting in one of them church benches, smoking
It's called a
tobacco weed.
pew.
A pew, that's it. I'm just sitting there, lounge back, smoking a tobacco weave or something, and
I think you're
just
supposed to smoke in here.
flicking a golden coin, waiting for Rubus's return.
The priestess, she looks at you, Rubus, as you enter this new room. These torches on the walls flare into light and reveal this enormous mosaic depicting Callistria and two other goddesses standing radiant in their divine vestments, holding on to their artifacts. And you see Callistria's whip is flickering out in the mosaic, and the torchlight seems to almost give these goddesses movement, and they stand above a shadow, a kind of roiling mass which they are smiting away. And you see, like, the flickering of the torchlight, the shadow seems to grow and recede away from these goddesses.
I'm going to ask the priestess, what is this?
This
What is this depiction of? Sorry. I do not know of any of this.
This is an old tale, one that has since fallen from the favours of many holy texts. Long ago, there was a great darkness among the gods. The god of death at the time was the antithesis of the other gods and goddesses. He sought to return the worlds that we had created, that they had created, to dust and nothingness. They had fought these battles many times, so they tell us, and so it's written down, costing many instances of creation, until these three goddesses, Callistria, Desna, and Iamida, they stood against the god of darkness. By imbuing their power into tools, they were able to invest followers of theirs with enough strength to take on the god of darkness and death. This was only made possible thanks to their own self-same investment of power, preventing his actions from collapsing onto the rest of reality. And that is why the gods do not walk heavily upon the world. After this happened, a new god of death was created or rose up. However, they were more natural within the world rather than being a creature from before life existed that sought to end it. This new god of death was in balance with the world. We have held on to this tale and this relic for ages past. It has travelled throughout various strongholds of Calistria until it has reached this place, where we appear to be under some form of siege.
I mean, I don't see why anybody would be attacking you over this. I mean, it's the first I've really heard of any of this, and I've been a follower of this faith for a while. Like, I wouldn't say it's common knowledge, so the fact that somebody knows that it's here.
Precisely my worry. This knowledge is uncommon knowledge. There are always effects when gods die. It is well known that the carcass of a god is a powerful thing. And along with the relics that remain from this ancient war, there are many who seek to gain advantage from the things that they can scavenge from the wreckage.
I mean, Calistria is not buried here, so it's just a relic in the picture, like a painting. I don't see that they hold much power.
Ah. And she kind of opens this chest in this middle of the room, revealing a braided leather kind of handle. And she says, "No, not in this one piece particularly. However, the power of the gods, divested for the sole purpose of killing another, is an inherently dangerous thing. If it is as I fear, and our hunters are trying to gain access to this inner sanctum, I believe it would be best if this made its way far from here."
Well, I was about to say, I mean, we've been here. We could always use the help of my fellow friends upstairs and just spread the rumor that it's already been stolen. It's empty. There's nothing here. There's just this ridiculous painting on it.
I'd rather limit knowledge of this room entirely. Even if it has been discovered, I'd not spread...
What other reason would you have people trying to vandalize you?
None that I can think of that explain an effort this concerted and yet hands-off.
So there you go.
If it was an act of passion, it would
exists.
be boiling up more. This is a planned assault.
Well, either way, we can take it with us. We can just tell everyone that we did.
The priestess, she kind of walks up to you and she picks up the leather handle and she just puts her hand on your chest and a couple of wooden like bits that make up your chest open up slightly and she places the handle inside.
Excuse me, they're placing their hands in where?
Just inside you a little bit. Just a little bit inside you.
Gertrude's about to get jealous.
Nah, this is all his.
Smiles
The
and
tree
says,
can do the deed.
I mean, I'm not like a transformer, you know. Like I can't just open flaps up willy nilly. Like,
"You got a flap. I've decided."
okay. The story's
Payback
about
for last
Tuchan.
stream.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you
Cool.
for taking upon this burden for yourself. I hope it finds the place it's meant to be.
I'm
Sometime.
sure we can manage to take it wherever it needs to be.
She kind of casts a look skyward and she says, "Sometimes I do regret not pledging myself to a goddess whose signs were less discreet. But it is what it is."
I mean, okay. I'm sorry that she is not so forthcoming like others on what she entails you to do.
It is not our place to question the commands of the gods, only to see to people's souls and ensure that they are happy and healthy and following the path that they choose to set out upon.
I'm gonna turn and go to leave now up the stairs. Kind of run out of things to say to this lady.
And she kind of follows you up back to your allies
It's
in the temple. And she says, "If you were here later, they usually come out in the early evening to do something or other that night."
When we get to back up to the other room, I will gesture and I signal to the other guys that I will speak to them later.
Sorry, having a bit of a PC issue.
Oh no.
Cat looks comfy though.
He's so clingy right now, it's ridiculous. It's demanding to be present
Like I
at
am.
all
Yeah.
times.
That's your puppet right there, isn't it?
He must be present.
I should have made a cat be my puppet. Don't look at me like that, bastard. Very
So,
handsome.
what are you guys up to
Beetle.
now?
Well, what's the time of the day?
It's about midday or so.
What time is it that we need to be where?
Second
For church?
bell in the morning.
And we're meeting at the location that was given or something, can we?
Mm-hmm. Tavern called the Broken Tooth.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I would still got quite some time.
Right. So we just need Rubus to tell us what's going on. Shall we leave the temple for a minute?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I'm still there flicking my
I
golden
will
coin.
say thank you to the priestess and take my leave.
The priestess says, "Thank you the three of you for coming and offering your aid. It does mean a great deal to me. And her eyes linger up and down on Makoto for a moment.
I see
So,
you there
well-
checking her out.
She's weird with you, that's what it is.
Okay. And then I just turn awkwardly and get out of there as quickly as possible while my papa is peeking through the back of my hair at this strange lady like, huh?
I'm just asking when can we make some more
You're
coin.
running away from the strange priestess wearing a loose robe and checking you out. That's not very Hugh Hefner of you.
No, I'm gonna ask Gertrude, who seems to be a little bit more skilled in this. What did they mean by that?
She wanted you to spend the night.
I'm sure she did.
That's what she meant.
I'm used to getting weird
Looking for
looks.
some
I mean,
struggle saddles.
look at me. And then I gesture to all of myself and flick my giant tail.
Foxy.
Not all she was hoping to flick.
You're not gonna go back there at later date, Makoto. You can say hi.
Okay, right. Should I just go back in there and have a word real quick?
Up to you. She definitely seemed interested. You might find out some private information or something.
Right. Am I allowed to go back in and ask her what that was all about?
Sure.
Okay.
Roll me a charisma, a persuasion, a
A,
deception, a charisma.
a charisma? You want charisma?
Yeah.
A thingy-majig.
Alright, so
Pull your pocket out.
you roll very badly. How do you go in and badly ask what that was all about?
I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna be like, excuse me, I get it. I'm weird, I'm different, and I'm aware that I may potentially stick out like a sore thumb in this place, but what was that all about, looking me up and down like that? You dealt with a tree.
This kind of tall blonde priestess, she kind of smiles as she leans towards you, and you can see in like the cut of her robe quite a lot of cleavage. And she's just like, "Ah, cutie, that's not what that was about at all. You are just magnificent."
It's all right then, isn't it? Thank you. Perhaps I'll see you again soon.
Do you have do you have foxes in human form?
You can either as a kitsune, you get to determine how far into a human form you want to go, and how obvious you want to be. But yes, I do. I've got them poking out.
She just kind of like tickles your fox ear for a moment and then leans back.
While this is going on, I'm going to state this that I've told Gertrude everything about what was going on in that basement room.
Nice.
And I'm still standing there flicking a gold coin.
So I like how
Listening
Gertrude
intently.
gets filled in while I'm getting.
Filled in.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Did we put 18 plus on this stream?
Quick ban scary. They're too young for this.
Earmuffs, scary earmuffs. Who knew this was going to turn into like BG3, where you can romance every character along the way.
Alright,
No,
so
and it's awesome we get the everyone
how many
involved.
hours later do you come out of the temple? Okay. 0 or more than 0?
Basically, inquiring minds want to know, do I sleep with the priestess? So I'm gonna let chat take a vote on if I sleep with the priestess.
I mean, I think it's scary.
I think
where that's gonna
Scary,
go.
you get to make the choice at this point. Scary's
We
like,
know what the choice is gonna be.
it's unlike Joe, I didn't have to instigate it. They wanted me. Yeah, you're fucking the priestess.
Alright, so Makoto heads into the bedroom of a priestess of the goddess of lust. And presumably that goes very well. Gertrude and Rubus, you've got to make yourselves busy for a couple of hours. How long do you hang around the temple before you either head back in to check or... Presumably,
No, I'm fucking off in,
Gertrude,
like,
you
5
completely
minutes
you
of
caught that
waiting
vibe,
outside.
so
I already picked up on what was going on, of course.
you picked
I
up what was
decided
being
to-
put down.
I decided to leave him to it. I filled Rubus in just in case he wasn't aware, and we went off to the tavern to get a drink. How's that sound, Rubus? We slipped a little
Fine,
note. I
sounds
slipped a little
amazing.
note on the doorstep, on the stony doorsteps. You know, for Makoto explaining where we was.
Hang a sock on the temple door.
That's the one. Yep.
Exactly.
What, on the front door of the
Just on the
temple?
front door of the whole temple. It's the goddess of love.
This is
of
all
lust,
occupied.
everyone- Look, you don't want to know about the rituals.
I'm pretty sure I know some of them.
Rubus already knows all about the rituals.
Ages ago.
Did I just hear a child? Get them out of here. This is an 18 plus child. So it's not the right time for a child to walk in the room.
Thank God I got earphones on.
Yeah, so a couple of hours later, you know, kind of starting to get into the afternoon, you guys meet back up. Do you stay in the tavern? Do you meet up in the tavern, you said?
Well, I'll meet them in the tavern, obviously.
Yeah, she found a note and it's like, oh, they're at the beer and bar
Couple of
or
drinks
whatever it's
around.
called. We've even got her a nice bubbly pint on there, refreshed for her exhaustion.
They've got
Now,
a
this
few
is an
different-
interesting question, because when a kitsune has sexual relations, don't the individuals become slightly obsessed?
You got a pill in your pocket.
She's
They can
protected by the
do. Do you
goddess.
have a general, like, spell DC saving throw?
Oh, for
For any of your
ooh.
magical type effects? She is a strongly willed priestess.
Oh,
What's your... well, reasonably strongly willed. What's your DC? She got a +3.
oh. So you mean like my class DC?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an 18.
Ah, then maybe she's slightly obsessed.
She may potentially want more
Maybe
The
you
goddess-
just gave a story.
aggressively.
Hold on. The goddess of what is it of lust and revenge is obsessed with Makoto. This ain't going very well.
Going great.
She gonna come back to kill her later on.
Just one
I
small
am-
stalker.
Gonna need the police.
Get a Goblin King.
Yeah. Goblin King, oh Goblin King. Take the child away.
Baby, the power. What power?
Power of voodoo. Do you? If they put on my baby. I love that freaking movie way too much.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
It's just we should have a labyrinth
David
party one
Bowie.
night.
I'm not Labyrinth. Ugh.
One moment.
One moment. Delete.
Mate.
That's enough out of you.
Do you like the labyrinth? Then?
That's enough out of you forever.
Don't tell me you're also the same person who doesn't like Legend.
Legend. Legend.
It was one of Tom Cruise's first films, and Tim
Oh, I don't
Curry
like
plays
Tom
the
Cruise,
devil.
but you know.
I do like Tim
Oh.
Curry as literally anything.
He's the best, isn't he?
Have you seen?
I
do you
didn't like Muppet Treasure Island except for Tim Curry.
Do you see any like college humor stuff recently? Because they did a really fucking hilarious like Tim Curry impression recently. It was so good.
No.
Ah,
Gonna have to look that up.
I'll send you a link recently, or just search Tim Curry hot crisp crust. It's
Oh, okay. That sounds
so
promising.
Good. It's so good. Anyway, we are playing a game here, and this is not distraction time. So,
Sex with the priestess. I now have a stalker.
Koto, you have ensnared a priestess.
And maybe an STI at this point. You never know with priestess.
No, I mean, if anyone's going to be clean in a fantasy land, you can be really reasonably sure the people who cast Cure Disease are at least clean going in. And then clean again the next day.
It's a goddess, you know? She don't...
No, a priestess, Gertrude. A priestess.
Oh, sorry, she's a
of
priestess.
the goddess of lust and,
Oh, yeah, my bad,
and
yeah,
revenge and trickery.
Oh, well, priest dead, we know what priest is. You're in trouble.
It's like... So you meet up in the tavern and are quickly caught back up on Rubus's secret trip underground for his secret knowledge that no one should know what of, but you now know what of because you've been told what of. And Makoto, you are reasonably well versed in the occult and the arcane and the strange and the mysterious. How is your religious/occult knowledge on this particular subject? Is there anything glimmering there? You will need quite a high roll. I'm looking for a 25.
You're looking for a 25.
Looking for a 25.
I can roll occultism or religion or both.
One or both.
That's not it. Shit!
You got that 20 in religion.
I did get a nat 20 in religion, but you wanted me to roll.
I'm sorry, it's just not enough base knowledge. You have heard previous tales of times when gods have died, both in the heavenly realms and the material one, and you are aware that bits and pieces of gods are immensely potent magically, often warping the landscape around where they fell, sometimes creating monsters or just random magical effects in line with their domain. You have some kind of sense that if there is a body or body parts left behind or artifacts left behind of the original god of death and darkness, they would probably be reasonably lethal to be around in general, without some kind of protection. But that's the most you can conjecture off of a natural 20 that is still not good enough.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, like, it's a thing that you are aware of, but this example is not a story you're aware of. Like, most gods that fall are minor gods, or it was very long ago. And it is worth noting that a god dying, while they are often replaced by similar gods that will fill in that domain if another god does not take over their domain, is a different thing from a god having their power subsumed by a mortal and that mortal ascending to godhood.
Can you give me 2 minutes and I'll be back? Basically, I'm going for a piss in the cabin.
Seconds.
2 1.
I don't even know what he's doing.
I think teenager wants him. Seemed like he was talking to someone first.
Yeah, that would be my son.
Beating up a footballer.
Beating up a footballer.
I didn't know Peter Cookie plays football.
No. Wills does.
Oh, okay. I was insinuating that Will's beating Cookie up.
Nope.
Maybe,
I mean, possibly.
maybe Will was taking a beating. Let's
Definitely.
So, is there any other particular things that you want to look into before tonight? So, tonight you have two real kind of timed opportunities. Is potentially in the evening getting a glimpse of some ne'er-do-wells outside the temple, and then in the early hours of the morning at the second bell after midnight. You have a meeting at the Broken Tooth Tavern with a Lieutenant of the Shadows about certain taxes that you feel are quite unfair upon the poor, impoverished, orphaned thieves. Thieves and petty criminals. Because they're just babies. Just crying babies. Just babies doing crime.
Just waiting on Cookie to get back.
Yeah. As you're walking around town, you do spot two orphans standing outside what looks like a bank, and they're holding up a sign that is quite badly spelled that says, "Drop box broken, please deposit with guards." And they just have a box, and occasionally people walk up and they're putting money in it.
Oh, that's nice of them. Can I walk straight past the box and go to the market trade and see what he's trading?
Yeah, there are all sorts of traders. You see kind of a fur trader with like wool rugs and various furs and kind of hats, knitted caps, mittens, kind of rabbit fur mittens that are soft on the inside. You see a blacksmith with like a variety of knives, swords, daggers, and axes and other bladed weapons. Another one that is just collections of silverware and fancy plates.
Can I have a look at the weapon trader? Let's see if there's anything better than the dagger I've got. Maybe there might be, if I can afford it.
Oh, it's Cookie.
I think I should have.
Sorry, my internet died for
You
a minute.
see, like, there's some short swords, some rapiers, there's a couple of other, like, daggers and things. You could certainly grab a couple more just to have more to throw, although... Did you get that?
You
got that
I've got...
recalling
Yeah,
slash?
that's it. I don't need more, because I can throw 3 and call them back on.
Are you looking for, like, a magical dagger?
Yeah, I want something special. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, like, a street market.
Oh, okay.
And you don't get the feeling that there would be a magical dagger on sale here. You ask the dwarf behind the kind of thing, and he looks up and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't personally have any skill yet in that trade. I'm only journeyman, but I think there's a shop down the road that does specialise in some magical gear. It depends what they have in stock at the time, but you could certainly go have a look.
And we go there quickly, Rubus and Makola.
Bartemius's goods.
Bartemius's goods, off we go. I'm going there. Are you guys coming with me? If
Sure,
not,
why
I'm gonna be back
not?
here.
I'll join up with you.
We've got to wait. It says the magical shop. There might be something good for you and your puppet.
I am the magic. I have gotten really cocky after getting laid.
So you
Yeah,
see...
we can go check out the shop. We can go check out that shop, it's fine.
The
thank you, sir.
sign is shaped like a kind of cauldron that is fizzing and bubbling and sparking. And, like, it's this wooden painting of the cauldron that is fizzing and bubbling and sparking.
Sounds good to me.
You head inside and you come into a store where pretty much everything is made of books. Like, instead of a desk where you would, sell things, there are just like a bunch of mostly even stacks of books with a bell on top. Instead of shelves, there are things on towers of books. You see like these strange like stuffed creatures, something that is this twisted kind of malformed mixture of various animal parts, what looks like almost a vulture-like head with these hooked almost praying mantis arms is like stuffed and in one of the corners. These chunks of crystal that emit strange auras or lights or sounds and hums on various piles of books. There is a kind of chandelier hanging from the ceiling with these dribbly wax candles, and as you enter and look around, you feel a reasonable presence of magic around you, if you were to detect magic.
Cool. So nothing out of the ordinary then. Just a normal.
Not everything on display gives off a magical feeling, but a decent amount of it does to some degree. Do you ring the bell?
Yeah.
I want to look around the shop first.
There you go. Ruben's gonna have a little peek. Pull some books
around the shop.
Alright, Rubus. You see like
don't break nothing, Rubens.
a small display on top of like this quite large stack of books of 6 crystal balls kind of arranged around each other. A jar containing this thick viscous fluid with some creature that you can't quite make out floating in the dark, and as you look at it, it seems as if the creature is larger than the jar that it is contained within, as if someone has
Squashed in.
No, not like it's squished inside a jar, it doesn't fit inside. More as if someone has filled a small pocket dimension with pickle juice. And this creature pokes out into this jar. In some strange way, the space inside the jar is larger than the outside.
I see what you mean. The illusion of it. I want to ring the bell and well, Ruben maybe he could show me it, and then I can ask the guy what it is.
You ring the bell. You hear a noise come from the back room of like moving objects, and a voice says, "Coming!" And slowly from the back room, coming out of the door, is what looks like to you possibly the single oldest human in existence. This man, if you had to roughly estimate his age based on the wrinkles and the grey hairs and the stooped back, the 2 canes and these just bottle thick glasses, you would put in roughly, knowing that humans only live to about 90 years old in this world, 2 billion years easy. Like, this man looks positively pruned. This man has been dried, preserved. He is a jerky man.
And I say, come on, hurry up.
I haven't got all day.
I'm not as young as I used to be, you know. Oh, and he kind of adjusts his glasses, and they seem to almost get thicker, and his eyes get larger as he looks up at you guys. And he's probably about 3 foot tall. Like, there's maybe 5 foot of body, but it forms into an almost horseshoe shape. So his head ends up very low to the ground.
Right, Rudolph, let me speak to him and see what he has to sell before you kill him with a head.
I mean, Gertrude, there's no reason to ask him about the head.
Okay, that's good.
Speak up.
What have you got?
Just gonna shout the same sentence over the top of Gertrude. There's no need to show him the head.
You want to shave my head? Well, wizard hair
dear
can
God.
be expensive. But for the right price, 10,000 gold pieces.
No, you old fool. Anyway, what have you got
Shave
for
your
sale?
head.
You can keep your grace.
He kind
It's
of
very graceful.
pats at the pretty much mostly encompassed bald spot that just has these wisps of white hair combed over it. And he's like, so you have come to Bartemius's den of wonders, mystique, mystery, and magical artifacts. Behold my immense stock of potent things. And he gestures at the crude magical junk.
Have you got anything more, how we say,
I'm gonna pull a
of
gold
value?
coin out of my magical pocket and gesture it towards him and be like, "Have you got anything good out the bag?"
Yeah, I want
I
something
have
that's not on the shelf.
lots of good things, but it really depends on your definition, young. He
I
kind
want
of
a.
peers up at you.
I'm looking
Geranium.
for a magical dagger or bow and arrow.
Enchanted weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
Dagger
That
or
is the word.
bow and arrow. Well, I can see why you'd want a bow and arrow, but I don't quite understand the dagger and arrow.
No, not a dagger and an arrow. You old fool. I said I
You
want a
say
dagger or
or bow and arrow.
yes,
Or
I want
did
the
you
bow
say
and
a
the
dagger
arrows.
or bow and arrow?
Anyway, I'm looking for one or the other. A dagger or the bow to fire the arrows.
I see. Well, and he kind of opens up the top book that makes up the counter,
Harry,
and it's got like these lists and lists of like magical items that are bought and sold, and ticks off, and he kind of flicks through towards the end of the list. It's like what's in stock. It's like weapons. And he's like leans, his nose is leaving like this grease mark on the page as he scans along it.
That's disgusting.
Thank you. I tried.
boogers on the ledger.
Tried for the potent realism.
I mean, you just thought with those fucking glasses, you had to hold the book slightly further away from his face.
Well, maybe that's what the
Liv.
problem is. Maybe that's why he's squinting so much.
Fucking see your fingers of the glasses.
He can't see
Sorry, guys, one
anything
second.
because he's like 200 years old, but not for any kind of magical life extension. Just fucking hanging on there. Oh man.
Sorry, I'm back.
It's alright. So he looks through these lists. He's like, well, I happen to have 3 elemental daggers. I'd be happy to let one go to you for perhaps 112 gold and 7 silver.
How about for all 3 of them? Make it a better deal. No silver.
For 333 gold.
Make it 300 gold and we got a deal, old man.
I can do. One is enchanted with fire, the other lightning, and the other with frost.
Done. I'll take them.
Excellent.
Thank you,
So
sir.
they are completely regular daggers in terms of their stats and base damage. However, they also have a +1 to hit, and each of them also does 1d4 of frost, fire, or lightning. Pretty sure I said
Cool.
lightning.
So if I turn the money down, take 300 gold of that, and then like add them into the inventory. Yeah, add them one by one, or what are they called? So
I
dagger
mean,
or fire.
if you put elemental dagger, and
Yeah.
then you put the stats of a dagger. Ow, ow. Don't stick your fingers in holes too small for them. You put the stats of a dagger, and then you say 1d4 elemental damage, and you give it a +1 on the roll to hit. Then you can just say, I'm using my frost dagger, or I'm using my fire dagger, and we'll know the elemental damage is the element that you said.
1d4.
Bartemius kind of looks at the other two of you and he goes, will there be anything else? He looks at you, Rubus. He's like, well, you are a very tall geranium, but you appear to be quite versed in divine magic. I'm not sure there's much I can do with you. Hurry off. And he kind of waves at you and looks at Makoto and he's like, ah, a young witch.
Yes.
Is there anything that catches your eye among my stock? I have several ingredients that could refill your pouches if you so needed.
I'm curious about what rods you might have to offer.
Ah,
No, don't even.
a woman of extreme taste. Ah, he kind of pulls out a small book from one of the corners and starts looking through it. He's like, yes, we have blasting rods, casting rods. Here was one by a man who said that he became enlightened. It's a fasting rod.
What about anything that gives off hexes? I love a good hex.
Ooh, not sure about hexes. But I do have a cursed rod of cursing that I could give away for a reasonably low price. Though I do warn you, it is cursed.
That was definitely coming.
Honestly, this man.
So how did you acquire this rod, wand, whatever?
Well, you see, I bought it.
You
I'm a
bought it.
purveyor of magical artifacts. I go down to the docks most days, quite early in the morning, and then I go to the ships and I peruse any that are selling magical artifacts or other things that the merchants might not know the true value of, and I snatch them up before they can be sold at market price, and then evaluate them and sell them on, or keep some for my own studies and experiments.
Right? Smart move.
How I get most of my things. As for who sold me this cursed rod of cursing, he kind of looks through the book to find the entry again, looks over at the name written next to the entry and the little note he made and said, I did not write that down.
Oh, good.
Lying old fool.
Roll a perception check. Or an insight check. A perception check if you want to try and peer at the page of the book. An insight check if you want to think if he's lying or not.
I don't have an
Here at the
insight.
book.
Would I have to roll a perception check for my poppet?
You would.
Okay.
Is that a
Gertrude,
what?
there was definitely writing in the name part of the book.
But I couldn't
You
make
could
out
not
the
make
name.
it out.
Can I ask him why he lied? No, I won't. I'll let Moogle finish. I'll let Makoto finish that trade, and then I'm gonna pull him on it.
I'm gonna
For
roll one from my
60
pocket.
gold, I could part with this rod. It is, after all, despite the curse, quite a potent item, able to cast a variety of hexes, at no cost to your own personal magic use and self-recharging.
Do we know which ones it can cast?
I don't have the full list. The focus that I had, I've only had this for a short time. I haven't had much time to test it. However, my main focus was on the curse itself.
Okay, and what's the curse?
It is quite a simple one. Instead of the wand itself using charges, it drains the life from the caster.
That sounds horrific. Go on then.
She wants, she still
Don't
wants
be
it.
alarmed, my dear. I have indeed tested it, and as you can see, I am still as vibrant and healthy as a 112-year-old. No, it can be used several times per day, quite easily, depending on how hardy you are, possibly more.
Okay, well,
I'm just gonna tap
Yeah,
my face on the
essentially,
shoulder
if you
and
want
just
specifics,
say that this is a bad idea.
it has a
say I
few
was born to
different
use it,
spells.
did I?
It has a few different spells, and each spell is a different dice roll. So, like, it might be like, a very low level hex, 1d4 damage to yourself, and then you do the hex. So you could roll
Okay.
zeros. And then a different one might be like, 2d12 damage, cast fucking baleful polymer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can take it. Might come in handy.
Yes, I will get you a list of spells.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to do it immediately. I may not use it right now.
That's right. You'll have to bond with it, of course, and attune with it. Would you like any of my scented candles? They can quite help with the process of bonding a new magical item.
I'm fine. I have candles already. I do like to keep some in my pouch. My little pop-up comes out of my pocket and dangles my little pouch at
Oh,
the guy.
what a
All happy.
delightful poppet.
Shit.
12 gold for him?
Oh no. He's very loved.
You
Very loved.
press you press me. 100 gold?
No, sorry. He's a friend. He's not for sale.
Not
And so I
at
quickly
all, my dear.
cuddle him and push him back in my pocket.
This old man's gonna steal him. Alright, listen, old man, I got a question. Why did you lie about the name on the ledger? We don't judge. I want gold.
He kind of
Oh.
turns to you slowly. He's like, I simply put, sir, there are times when one does not write down a name. There are times when one writes down the name, and yet it does not exist. Surely you can understand a businessman's need to protect his investments and interests.
I can indeed.
I'm gonna unwrap the
Tell me
green
something
cloak
more.
thing
Tell me what you're
from
not
around my
telling me.
neck. And let Gertrude finish.
Can I do an intimidation on the guy and force him to tell me?
Rufus, get the head.
Yeah, pull the head out. That's it.
Rufus,
Oh,
no.
Hold on.
I pull the head out of Rufus's pocket and I show it to the old man. And I say, "This is going to be for you if you don't tell me what I really want to know, because he's hiding something."
Roll me intimidation.
There you go. Do I need to do an intimidation roll?
Yeah, if you want to intimidate.
I do. He's lying to us. He knows more.
He looks and he's like, "What? And what is so special about this head then?
Oh, you weren't scared, no?
It doesn't appear to be magical. It's going a bit ripe."
Can I roll a perception check on the old man, please?
Sure.
fucking work. It no do it.
Hurry. Wrap up.
Reloading the page. Hold on.
Hey, he just seems like a very old wizardly man. And he kind of looks at the lot of you and he's like, huh. And he kind of sees the green robe around your shoulders and he's like, ah,
It's not around my shoulders anymore.
the green robe that you have removed.
Thank you.
And he looks at it, he's like, ah, that seems quite interesting. I'll give you 60 gold for it.
You're a weird old man.
No. What can you tell me about it?
Ah, my identification services are 10 gold, sir.
Fine. You have your 10 gold.
You pay the man. He's like, this is a robe of the druid. It is a magical artifact. It seems to contain up to 8 charges.
For what?
Magical
and-
uses.
Exactly. Exactly. Magical uses. It costs 1 charge to cast the spell Tanglevine, 2 charges to cast the spell Entangling Flora, and 5 charges to cast the spell Plant Form, which turns you into a plant creature for a bit.
I mean, that's a bit fucking useless, isn't it?
Which is why it's funny to give it to you.
When I cast it, I accidentally turned into a human, you know?
We'll discuss that
knows?
when you cast it.
Who knows what happened? Maybe you
I've been
become
enchanted as a plant person for so long I almost forgot I used to be human. Dun dun dun. Backstory he didn't know he had. No, it's so plant form. While seems like it's a nothing for you, it would give you a little bit of a buff. So it'd more be like bigger plant form,
Enlargement or something cool.
Okay.
plantier form, more planty. But yes, that is what the cape that you've been dragging around can do.
I'm not going to remember any of this, so...
I will. I've written it down. I'll send you a
Thank
little card.
I appreciate that. I'm just going to proceed to wrap it back around my neck and grab the head off Gertrude and ask the guy, does he know him? Has he seen him before? Has he been here?
I don't remember where we got this head from. That's right.
And then the shadow people we were
I've
chasing.
had no heads in here recently. I don't recognize this head, sir.
We do recognize the person it used to belong to.
Ah, you mean looking at his face to see if I know who he is?
Yes, old man.
How decayed is this head by now, Cookie? Like, have you thought about that at all? I'm really sorry, but like,
It's
honestly,
about a week old, so not honestly terrible.
it's
but
not
bad.
preserved though, so it's got
No.
to
Yeah,
be.
like it's bad.
Couple maggots of
It's
yeah, a
not
couple maggots are in it or
terrible.
something now. Still recognizable.
Still got some distinguishing features.
Yeah.
Still got an eye.
And just an eye at least.
No.
At least we know his eye colour.
Grey.
Yeah, they don't really say the color they are.
That was gone in like half an hour. Your eyes go flat and grey.
No, I know that, but, you know.
Anyway, yeah, he takes a little close look at this, and then he takes off his spectacles and he puts on a pair that is maybe twice as thick. And he's like looking at this thing, and he puts it down on the table, and he reaches into one of the books nearby and pulls out this little kind of cloth packet, and gets out a knife and like tears open the seam, pours out this circle of dark powder, lights it. And it starts burning in this like purple flame. And he goes, Spirit of the deceased, we call on thee. Answer for us these questions 3. And then he gestures to you guys.
Who the fuck are you?
My name is Dave Brenner.
What organization are you with? Was you with?
I worked on Brenner's farm, which is me dad's farm, until he died and I inherited it. And I was also part of a little group that was trying to make some extra money by reducing the amount of farm goods that were leaving our village from other farms.
Your question, Makoto.
I just have one. I felt very put on the spot there. I don't actually have a question for the corpse.
So, he didn't really answer my question very well, either, did he?
Well, you asked him where you're from. What was it that you asked, Rubus?
No, I said what organization.
His name's Dave Brenner,
And he's
That's-
a farmer.
and he was
Okay.
using bad magic to make more money from his farm. Oh.
By
Who?
reducing the amount.
How about where was you running when we killed you?
Up.
Now, Gertrude, you've gone and ruined the third fucking one.
I'm sorry. No, I suggested it to you. I didn't ask
This
the
is all
court.
out of character. This is
You
all out of
asked the
character.
question out in front
Okay.
of it.
Out of character. I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think if we ask it about who the person was?
The guy leading the cult.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a very good question, Kato.
Do you guys think that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure, Gertrude, or do you want to go
Yeah.
back to the other one?
No.
Cool. Right. So who was the leader of the cult that you seem to be a part of?
The leader, his name was Jareth. And
Jareth.
It wasn't gonna be, but you got it on my mind.
You remembered the babe. What babe? The babe with the power.
Exactly. He came into the village a couple months back, stayed for a little bit, and he gave a few sermons, kind of generic things. I don't remember him mentioning any gods in particular. And then, at the tavern one night, me and a few buddies, we got to talking with him, and he invited us out to do a little ritual to improve the bounties of our crops. And that's all I really know about him. We did those rituals every few nights for about a month or two.
His head is really forthcoming on information.
That's good. Don't complain.
I'm not complaining. I think my basic understanding of that spell is it's not quite as much information, but I'll take it.
And then he stabbed me in the chest, and you guys cut off my head after he turned me into a zombie.
He stabbed you in the chest. Oh my lord. They're sacrificial lambs.
Did you not remember that?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it just clocked. I'm looking at my notes now. I'm scrolling through them. So...
I'm gonna ask the
looks like we've-
shopkeep how much for the head.
It's your head.
Yeah, but how much? Would you to buy it off of me?
I
Oh.
mean, it's not a particularly magical head. It has had some necromantic energies go through it. I'll give you 5 silver.
Make it 10.
It's a
Done. He flicks you a gold piece, which lands nowhere near you. Flicks out a gold piece, almost randomly into the air, and grabs the head by the hair and opens up a nearby jar and dunks it in there, and the head kind of sinks into the bottom of the jar.
In this weird liquid juicy stuff.
No.
Oh no.
The jar
Just
looks
empty
empty,
jar.
but the head sinks slowly as if there is liquid in it.
Okay. Perfect. Well, maybe we should leave this
What?
on.
I'm not allowed to move the camera down?
No. I was enjoying in the very beginning of all of our streaming journeys together that, you know, you had basically a forehead remaining to you.
By the end of it,
There he goes. Scary can be satisfied now.
It's like, I've already done this, but I can do it more before I go.
How is your chair not broken from doing this to it repeatedly?
This is what the chair's designed to do. It becomes a sideways chair.
Okay. Well, I mean, my chairs can do that too. The sideways chair.
Sideways.
30 dues. Scary. Yay!
So you guys, you head out of Bartemius's.
and I try and steal that weird.
The jar with the internal realm in it.
Yeah. Can I just walk past it, grab it, and
You can
leave?
certainly try. Give me a sleight of hand. Type.
Yay!
Probably best if I'd done
Probably.
I'm just watching it, you thinking,
Do you
no,
have a thievery, Rubus?
I do have thievery. I don't know where my sleight of hand is. Though.
Can you steal from a blind old man?
Do I do my thievery or stealth?
Yeah,
So-
thievery.
thievery.
Thievery's the one.
I don't want to come up with that.
4.
Is it a- is-
You rolled
it's a-
a 4.
Oh yeah, because I need to look back on the chat. That's why.
So you rolled a 4. So you try clumsily
The answer
to
is-
steal this jar without making undue noise or drawing attention to yourself. As you do, you knock the jar off of the pile of books and knock some of the books down. And then pick up the jar and go to conceal it, turning around to look to see if you've been spotted. Where you
If the
notice
jar didn't break.
Bartemius is just not paying attention at all.
He just didn't give
he
flying
rolled
fuck.
a 1.
So
He
I'm just
didn't
gonna
hear
walk-
you.
I'm just gonna walk out with the jar.
After making all that noise, yeah.
As you're walking out with the jar, the pickled amalgamation inside of it presses an enormous tentacle up against the side of the jar, kind of filling the view with one enormous spiked sucker before it pulls
So
back.
What evil jar have you just stolen?
I've no idea. I didn't know anything about it.
Of all the things
Right
still,
down-
you could
right
have
down
tried the ledger.
Evil jar in your inventory.
And I think you should open it in the middle of town.
Just gonna throw it at some random person.
No spoilers. Please don't open that jar in the middle of town. No spoilers, but please.
Jesus.
Where you
Evil
posted
jar in inventory.
it. Evil jar of what? Tentacle fluid.
In case of emergency break-offs.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you're putting on your notes? Is in case of emergency?
I am now.
Oh, God. We're all gonna die.
Don't think so small, Regal. There are worse
I'm
things than death.
I'm thinking big here with this jar now. Like
I feel
I'm
like there may
so
be
many ideas coming out of
the
my head.
multiverse is about to open up and swallow us. Cthulhu's gonna come out of the clouds.
Met by the Kraken or something.
Everyone roll me a sanity check. This is Call of
Shit.
Cthulhu now.
What? A sanity check?
It's not a real thing. It's a different
Oh,
game.
oh my bad.
Have you never played Call of Cthulhu? We need to play Call of Cthulhu.
Oh man.
Mm.
Alright, Makosha, you got 2 weeks to write a Call of Cthulhu campaign for everyone.
I can do this. I was gonna write one that was well, I actually did write one up
I was gonna invite everybody to like a dinner party, but it's
Oh,
fine.
Definitely should at some point.
Yeah,
However,
it's gonna be themed.
what do you
Yeah,
guys
that's not
see happening today? Because we are nearing wrapping up point for me in particular. So is there anything else that you want to handle today? Were you going to go back to the temple this evening? And you definitely still want to do the crime meeting, I assume?
Yeah.
We
You
just
Yeah,
want to
seem,
do the
you
crime
seem pretty
meeting.
step on that. So, were you going to try and handle the temple at all?
I'm
Funny.
curious about the temple, but that might just be me.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
You're just a little
I'm
bi-curious about the temple.
Just a smidgen.
Got it.
Plus,
I
I'm scared
mean-
now. I've got a fucking stalker. What happens if I don't
roll
sort
for
out the
stalking.
temple?
As far as I'm
Bitch,
concerned, when it
you
comes to the
promised to help,
temple,
then banged me and left.
Called a one-night stand. Get used to it.
Well, even that happened in the daytime, didn't it?
on day stand.
If I got two broads, that a one-night stand. Yeah, so is there any other like shopping-y type things or other minor things that you wanted to check out in town while you're here?
Sorry, kitty. Oh, did you
Um,
strangle yourself?
I think I'm alright. I've got some daggers.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good.
Yeah? You can say
Yeah.
that you generally can refill any kind of rations or type things for just a couple of silver or coppers that you want to spend on it. You know, general any things like that. If you want to pick up ropes or camping supplies or anything that you feel like you needed but did not have, various weapons, feel free. If you think it's ridiculous, ask me about it and I'll say if it's ridiculous or if it's something that's findable. You know, it's a port town, they sell a lot of stuff. So, you know, if there anything that you come up with in the next couple of weeks,
Okay.
Is there
next month,
anyone that does enchantments in this town?
like specialized enchantments,
Yes.
you have to get above a 15
On what?
on the dice I just rolled, sir.
14.
Now I feel almost mean, but I said 15. I said 15. I almost went with you have to get evens.
Could have gone without.
But I was like, nah, that's only 50-50. I'm going to do it 1 in 4 and you can't
That's
get
cool.
an enchantment here. Yeah, you asked Bartemius about it and he's like, no, there's no enchantment specialists in here. I think the nearest town, there's a dwarven settlement about 3 days walk northeast of here. Don't get that mixed up. Northwest of here is bad country, but northeast of here, there's a dwarven settlement under Mount Carrick. They do a lot of enchanting, depending on what you want enchanted. They tend to specialize in steels and other metals, hardening enchantments and other practical uses, although their skill and ability to refine their craft is legendary. Expensive, but legendary.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
No worries, young sir.
As a
I have just one question for you.
Go for it.
Who are you and why are you in my shop?
What are?
My colleagues came in to purchase some stuff.
I am Bartemius, wizard and alchemist extraordinaire.
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
And you too, young geranium.
Not a geranium, but thank you.
You're geranium now.
You're a geranium to him.
You're whatever he tells you you are.
I am a blackberry bush.
A
So you're-
blackberry bush.
Mm-hmm.
Very tall.
Yeah. It's ironically,
Arubis.
the name that I have as a character is the Latin name for a swamp blackberry bush.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
true.
okay.
Rubus hispidus.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So that is where I'm going to call it a night then. So that was very fun, everyone. As I said, 2 weeks from now, Wednesday, instead of D&D, we will be playing an as yet undecided game, possibly Cthulhu, with maybe Makoto at the head. We will post an update about that closer to the time when something's been planned. But I'm going to be on holiday, so I will be unable to host, although I will see about bringing a camera and a laptop and maybe being able to join in,
That
That'd be
sounds cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
potentially. But we'll see closer to the time, because it depends how crowded family house is. I don't want to be under everyone's feet.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we might just go out to dinner or whatever at that time. Which is fair enough. The next session will be a one-shot / non-existence, depending on people's decisions. Other than that, anyone have any news, game news, personal news, stream news that they want to share about their lives?
No, not really. I'm boring.
Fair enough. Scary says Chimkin, and I highly agree.
Yeah, poor little guy. Come here, say hello. You nearly strangled yourself on my headset, didn't you?
Aw, silly cat.
You be sleeping.
Well,
You be
I
sleeping.
very much enjoyed that session.
It's a fun little
Yeah, that was
session.
good. That was good fun. They all are.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying yourselves so far. I'm hoping I managed to weave together a reasonably good story for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And for all of our new followers and joiners, it was a wonderful session, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Ladies.
100%.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry.
Mr. Latin Blackberry Bush.
Aw, thanks, Gary. I'm glad you think it's a good watch.
Thank
You never know what you're
probably
gonna
should
get.
just
Thanks, Gary.
Probably should raid. Anyone on at the moment for a raid? Who's raiding?
Along the same lines. I mean, ow, can you stop? I'm not trying to play with you. I'm trying to put you down. I'm not, sir. He's like, do not let me go.
No put down.
Thanks, doggo.
I don't see.
Look at him. He's attacking. Ow.
Oh, yeah, of course we gotta be interactive with the audience.
I mean, we all have to. It's importante. You guys are important to us. Without an audience, we wouldn't be able to. Well, we'd be doing this still, but it would probably be less
Yeah.
interesting.
I find the audience interaction makes it very fun, especially moments where you're just like, should this
Fuck a
happen?
priestess.
Let's ask.
Go have sex with the priestess. It's fine. Just do it.
Lady said, yeah, you're fucking a priest.
Gary's just like, I've decided so much in these campaigns. I'm pretty sure you have the most effect at the moment on everything that goes wrong or right.
I just am raiding the first person who's playing Pathfinder on Twitch.
Awesome. I think that's a good idea. We can go check out what their stream's like.
Exactly. Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, the actual game Pathfinder.
Oh, it's the mama's
Oh,
turn.
nice.
What's this?
Hello.
No,
Hey, thank you for the raid, OS Wizards. Hope you're having a good night.
I've got it muted anyway, so it won't echoes on us. But what is that game, Pathfinder?
I mean, it's what we're playing, but like as a video game. It looks like.
Oh, okay.
Unless
Yeah, there's another one, a really
No,
good
I
one
think-
that's
Assuming
similar
you guys have also
to
been playing
BG3.
role-playing, so feel free to tell us all about it in
Oh.
the chat. I'm just going to.
I feel
Um,
like they're
Did
no,
you took
they're not
16
playing
damage, didn't you?
like a video
Yeah.
game. They're
Yes,
playing.
and it is now.
They're
the
playing
Monarch's
Dungeons
turn.
and
If you could
Dragons.
just swap
Yeah,
back
there's
in.
They're playing
three people
Pathfinder.
under the
Is
bombs.
going
Yeah.
to do something I've been wanting to do.
What is that little map thingy that they're using?
That's what I'm wondering.
She
What is
takes
it?
a
That's
deep breath
like
in,
the more
and as she
position on the map.
exhales, she
Where is it?
spews. Oh shit in hell! This is massive. How do I turn it? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
So
level
yeah.
5.
It looks like they've got 7 players or so.
She.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Is it got
a
to be
lot
from
of
the
effort.
middle of the large monster?
No, anywhere on the edge of the token.
Oh wow. Okay.
Out of curiosity, can I nimble dodge?
You can nimble. Wait. Yes. I think you can nimble dodge.
It's
But I don't know if
always
it's
a
gonna
bit worrying.
help. No, it's a.
Not
It's
to
a
judge people's DMing, but
Yes,
when the
no,
DM
it's
goes, oh,
basic
that's how big
reflex
that
saves,
attack is.
please.
You should probably know what your enemies can do before you put them up against fight.
Nah.
That's a sign that you haven't balanced the
This
encounter.
is gonna be.
Like,
I'd
like
still
you
go.
maybe balanced it based on the
Or
numbers.
they're acting. You
Maybe.
can, yeah,
Oh,
that does
actually,
happen
you're
as
not
well.
doing
I'm
too
trying to
bad.
find the one that I've got. It's like Pathfinder Kingmaker or
Oh,
something like
sis.
that. That's
How dare you?
a top-down style
How
similar to
dare
BG3.
Yeah, I'm just loading
Um,
back in. So.
And
well, just so saying,
Ducker, what's it called?
Nianta, and Iroh. You
Yeah,
have a
Pathfinder
cast,
Kingmaker.
so you will be taking half damage.
You can
what-
play
That's
that
a
one, and
fail, I'm here
it's
recording
it's literally Pathfinder,
Yes,
but
you failed. Oh, someone's getting a hero
In
point.
In a video
What
game.
they're using-
yeah, and I think it's up to like 4 or 5
And you
players.
just got your hero
I
point
wonder what
back.
they're using here. Is this
Oh, damn, I
Foundry
might need
or
it
is
now.
it?
It's a shame you can't double hero point, eh?
Yeah.
Right, so
I'm just stuck on a grey screen.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm okay with
You
you
could
rolling
ask.
for me if you want.
Liz
Yeah, but I
just
probably
fails.
won't.
I need to do one as well, don't I? Sorry, I was chatting.
Yes.
I was responding to people in the chat.